sold-out concert to 30,000 people the day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All in autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats, and share your own legacy. Visit All In Autographs, where you can celebrate the great and have your own piece of history.
If you're drunk, classic, intoxicated, rip, plaster, destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
I'm a Blaze King customer, and I have been for the last 10 years. Blaze King stoves are very efficient, they're easy to maintain, and they use a lot less wood than you would typically use with a fireplace.
Blaze King, that's a fire.
The heat is on when it's a Blaze King wood stove, controlling heat up to 40 hours on a single load of wood with a built-in thermostat. See for yourself at either Blaze King showroom, Albuquerque and Santa Fe. Blaze King, and now that's a fire.
Hi, my name is Ruben, and I'm with the New Mexico Educational Assistance Foundation. We are proud sponsors of high school and college sports. Either college or trade, we can help you find the funding you need. Go to nmfasa.org. That's nmfasa.org.
If you're drunk, classic, intoxicated, rip, plaster, destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
For 5 years running, it's the OD and the AM with Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck.
Still partying? Still celebrating? Still feeling good? We'll get a lot of days like that around here. You should still be partying and celebrating. Heck, many of you got the day off. Happy Veterans Day, and a thank you to every single one of you who has or is serving our great country, and for the families of those, because the sacrifices that you make every single day. We say thank you to our veterans, and we will again. Thank you and enjoy Veterans Day. Good morning to you. Merry Monday. Wow, what a weekend, especially if you're wearing the cherry and silver. Opening drive, Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck. How you living?
Living pretty good.
Dude, we don't get a lot of days like Friday around here, right? I mean, there's just, and I'm not going to sit here and tell you it was the best day ever. It wasn't. But we don't get a lot of days, if you're a Lobo fan, where you have both those. We sat here on Friday, said, are they going to win 1, 2, none? What do you think? Who's got a better chance to win? And not just getting 2 wins on the same day. I mean, that's probably happened before. But wins over nemesi, football beating San Diego State, who they had not beaten since that 70-7, Rocky Long's last victory as Lobo head coach. That was their last time they beat in 2008. And then for the basketball team to go and beat a 22nd ranked UCLA team and do it convincingly, don't get a lot of days like that. I hope you're still celebrating and enjoying.
And it was 2 wins that the team that won looked good.
Yeah.
And the Lobo men's team from start to finish on the court, just wow, is like watching that game, like who should have a number by their name?
No doubt.
Who should be ranked in the preseason poll? And then, football taking advantage of a team that was struggling, so they go out there. The defense was able to make some plays early, forcing big field goals and goal-to-go situations. You just see this unbelievable rushing attack continue between 2 dudes, Eli Sanders and Devin Dampier, and winner, chicken dinner, man.
Hell, have steak. You know what? That was
filet mignon.
Yeah, I mean, eat,
surf
man.
and turf,
celebrate, because it was something. And JJ, it was defense. Both teams won because of defense. I mean, the Lobo, and you're saying, JT, the Lobo football team won because of defense? Yeah, they won because of defense, because they made stops and because they gave up 16 points, which is a season low for them, and because they only gave up 341 yards. You say only, and I say yes, and to your point, the stops. And then as far as the basketball, JJ, I thought they were phenomenal defensively, and that's they forced 21 UCLA turnovers. They turned the ball over 24 times. They're gonna have to clean it up. Early season wins. I told you on Friday, in regards to basketball, don't get too high or too low, and I will still hold to that. Okay, I don't know how good UCLA is or is going to be. They're a team that's still trying to figure it out. Mick Cronin was trying to say, and it's not totally wrong, that was a veteran team over there. And at New Mexico, and the three big pieces that they've got back, and really the four big pieces on offense, 4 of their 5 starters are back, right? As much turnover as you've had. But defense ruled the day on Friday for both teams.
It did, and we discussed that this is something the Lobos are going to have to lean into, even with the way they scored offensively against Nichols. Like, this is going to be a team that when you play UCLA, you play St. John's, you play your other opponents, like, they're going to need to lean into this defensive mindset, grind out some games. And they absolutely did that, because this was a tough game both ways. You look at, for as good as the Lobos were, you mentioned, they turned the ball over 24 times. And how do you overcome that? You have to defend, because you can't then all of a sudden lose that battle and points off of turnovers in a big way. And they actually won that.
Yeah, 21-15 points off of turnovers. A lot of the turnovers, and you look at Donovan Dent's stat line, you'll go, whoa, man, 9 turnovers. You can't have your point guard doing that. And on the surface, you're absolutely right, and he will get better. A lot of those were not playing together. And if you watch the game, you'll see it was passes where he anticipated a guy going one way and they went the other way, or a ball that just went off of fingertips, or a pass that was down around the shins. 9 turnovers is a lot. And look, I'm not sitting here and telling you, but I'll tell you something. That kid was something else, and he came back from the injury when he went down with 7:39 to go. Or say he was out for 2.5 minutes, but that place, the lull that went over that place, and look on Richard Pitino's face and every Lobo fan's face,
because you're like, uh-oh.
Yeah, they were up by 16. He was out for about 2.5 minutes, and he went to the locker room, came back with his knee taped, and came back in. They were up by 11 and end up winning the game by 8. I think that may be a lingering thing. If I remember sitting with you at the game on Monday, the Nichols game, and saying, man, he's had a sleeve on his knee, right? And what's going on? Is he limping? He did not have anything on his knee in the UCLA game, and then when he went down, it was, and the look on his face when he came off was one of those, damn, I know this is. Now I don't know what's going on. I'm not going to pretend to be a doctor.
No, but something's going on.
Obviously,
because, he just slipped and immediately went to that knee. It was just. You were there, but you're watching.
But I didn't see it. So Hunter did, because I actually, as he was doing that, I scanned over to the coach, or I scanned somewhere, and then I heard and I looked over.
Yeah, like on an inbound, he's curling around, and he just slipped in the lane.
Yeah, non-contact.
Like, something was slippery on the floor, and went down, immediately started grabbing at it, and knowing that he's been dealing with the knee that coach has addressed, and heart just sunk right there.
100%. And I didn't see it, and they didn't show a replay in the arena. So Hunter was explaining it to me. And then I came back and I did see it. And yeah, man, that's concerning. And that's going to be something that is a big deal. But they look really good. They look really, really good. And I think they're going to get better. Here's another thing. And by the way, coming up, let me give you a guest list real quick. 7:45 this morning, CJ Nolan's going to be with us. CJ had his first double-digit scoring game as a Lobo. He comes off the bench. He poured in 13 points I thought was really pivotal. But I always enjoy talking to the student athletes, too. So CJ Nolan is going to be with us, Lobos guard, who was a big part of what they did. 3 steals off the bench in the 72-64 victory over UCLA. 9 o'clock, Bronco Mendenhall scheduled to be with us, the Lobo football coach, after the 21-16 victory in I think that's San Diego. What the hell, dude?
So maybe there was something to that whole field conversation.
Dude, that field looks, it's embarrassing.
And everyone was really trying to push back. And when the NWSL was like, yeah, we're not playing here. And they're like, get over yourselves. And then you see that field and then the first-hand reports on the field, and then you could understand why there was some concern with that.
And I guess there's a difference between horrible and aesthetically pleasing and unpleasant and dangerous. So maybe it wasn't dangerous, right? I mean, and I don't. Did you see any non-contact injuries or anybody going down?
No. Both schools put their teams out there and they acknowledged that, but some of the post-game comments, especially Sean Ryder from the Journal, he was asking the players, and they were like, "Yeah, it was
the worst field I've ever
slick."
played on." Yeah, it's embarrassing, and I don't know how it gets like that, but it did. But Bronco's going to be with us coming up at 9:00 this morning. Encourage your phone calls numbers to get in today: 505-246-0610. Emails this morning: Jeff at sportsanimalabq.com, JJ at sportsanimalabq.com. Adrian's producing on ProView Networks. It's on our Facebook page, the OD and the AM, and on Xfinity and Comcast Channel 26 around the state of New Mexico. You want to get started early? It's funny when you win. This is one of those where I expect a lot today, right? You always get a lot of calls on the show after losses. We don't have a lot of days after, and I guess it's 2 days after, 3 days after now, because typically this would happen on a Saturday. This was a Friday night. And I know you had Lobo Live afterwards with Kenny and Brandon, and I guess that might have popped a little bit. But I expect you to go, and here you are early. JT, how you living, man? What's going on? You're on the Sports Animal.
Well, as a lifelong Lobo fan, yes, you are certainly right. We do not get these feelings very often, but let me tell you something. I'm 57 years old, and I'm still hurting from Friday night.
Good.
The party I had at my house was going till, I'm not going to say because it went till almost a good long time. But you know what? What I'm more gratified about is now this morning we don't have to hear from these so-called Lobo fans that like to criticize everything and say that football sucks, basketball don't do this and that and the other. They could stay under the rocks and do what they do under the rocks. That's what I feel vindicated today, because this is hard work, okay? Especially the football team. I don't care if San Diego State's not doing good. I don't care if they have a freshman quarterback. I don't care. They're Division I. Look what happened to Fresno State on Saturday, okay?
Yeah, how about that one?
Division I football, okay? And then we can't beat the big squads in basketball. Well, look what happened. Hard work, dedication. This is what's going on at UNM, all right? This is what these young kids, these kids are doing. The Lobo players, they hate that we have this tradition. They're in there every day in and day out, trying to get better. And I promise you, I'll be at Saturday's game, and then I'll be front and center for Sunday morning for the St. John's game. So all you Lobo haters, please go do what you guys do. Don't bother us Lobo fans today, because we're having a good day. We don't want to hear you bringing that negativity, okay? Have a good day.
See you, man. Give us a day off. Let us revel in it. Look, you don't get a lot of these. And the perspective is really good, JJ. Everybody understands San Diego State's on a down year. They're 3-6. They're 2-2. They're struggling. But I'm going to say this, as I said it, when you beat Utah State, when you beat New Mexico State, when you beat Air Force. Yeah, are they all down? Yeah. But they were all beating you over the last how many years?
This is one where you have to find a way to start climbing the ladder. And you have steps that you need to take. They missed an opportunity, one of those steps against Wyoming.
Yeah.
And
that one's going to be brutal.
Yeah. Wyoming and Montana
Well,
State.
you'd be bowl eligible if you held on to both of those games. You would already be in a bowl game if you held on to both of those leads.
Those are going to sting when it's all said and done.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to use the word cushion, JJ. I'm going to explain to you why you shouldn't be content with the basketball win against UCLA, but why this was so big in regards to just a slight little cushion. I want to get to that. Boy, do we got NFL. Cowboy fan? Yeah, sorry, man. You're Jet fan. Bronco fan? The whole NFL's just looking at you going, what the hell just happened? What's left of the 72 Dolphins were ready to pop the damn cork. And they had to put it away.
You got to block so it doesn't get blocked.
And sip some Perrier. All that and you at 505-246-0610. Property crime's real. You understand that. That's why IPS has been so effective in so many places. International Protective Service is affordable private security. Look, there's not enough officers to answer all the calls that come in for property crime. You understand that. So that's why years ago I employed International Protective Service. They patrol my home. They patrol hundreds of other homes and businesses all around Albuquerque and Santa Fe. You see them everywhere you go. They're in your neighborhood. They're at the retail outlets that you go to. They are there, and they keep the bad guys away. And then when an alarm goes off in a home that they monitor or a business they monitor, they're there within 5 to 7 minutes. Many times they catch the criminals in the act. They detain them. The police come and get them. IPS also provides standing guards. If you need eyes on your property around the clock, they'll install alarms and camera systems. They have a state-of-the-art facility monitoring those cameras 24/7, and it raises the level of security around your home or business. So the question is, who's watching your home when you're not there? Make sure it's the good guys. A quick response to your alarm, standing guards at your business. It's what IPS does, and you'll sleep better at night. 505-897-2420 is the number. Area code 505-897-2420. They're online at ipsglobal.com. International Protective Service is passionate about making Albuquerque and Santa Fe better and safer places to live and work.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
I might not be in the cage as much anymore. Just like riding a bicycle, I can pick up the fight from where I left off. I'm not some slick-haired outsider posing with borrowed gloves. I grew up here. New Mexico is in my blood. I'm a New Mexican fighting for other New Mexicans. I'm Adam Oki. I'll be your champion in the courtroom.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indy Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Got shots? Got shots? Got shots?
During Got Shots, participating providers open their doors for...
If you were in Vegas, you probably went late night, huh? Lobo football wins in San Diego, beating the Aztecs the same night. Lobo men's basketball wins in Henderson, Nevada, beating UCLA 72-64 for a big night for UNM athletics. JJ, here's what this does. You and I were talking. There's 5. I guess if you throw the New Mexico State game in, there's 6 marquee games, but I'm going to take that out right now simply because of like net ranking purposes. Because you see what VCU did to Boston College? Take a look at that. VCU eviscerated an ACC team the other day. So if you look at the games, the UCLA game, neutral site, St. John's on the road, Arizona State neutral site, either USC or Santa Clara. Is that right? Santa Clara?
St. Mary's.
St. Mary's. I was just watched Santa Clara the other night. I'm sorry. They played Arizona State. Right? Neutral site, and then the VCU game at home. So you take those 5 games. Those were meant for schedule purposes. I don't know what you think they've got to go win-wise. I knew, like, you want to win all of them. But Richard Pitino, and Richard's going to be with us on Thursday. I want to talk to him about this. He said to me in the pregame show on the broadcast last week, he says, now, it doesn't do anybody any good if we lose them all. And I'm like, wow. Like, in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, what's the number you got to feel good about, right? You want to win them all. I understand that. But what's the number you feel good about? Is it win 3 out of the 5? Is it win 4 out of the 5? Beating UCLA it gives you a cushion. Right? So if for some reason you lose in New York next week, or if you lose one of those games in Palm Springs, like this game balances that out. It gives you a cushion, and it really puts you ahead right now. I saw something where, 2 games in, the Lobos have, and again, 2 games in isn't anything, like one of the toughest schedules in America already, strength of schedule. But you see what I'm saying as far as a cushion, winning that game early. These November wins, there was was it 2 years ago when they won at St. Mary's, and it turned into just this huge net, strength of schedule victory, and it kind of carried them. Well, they have that, and they have that, and they have that all year, assuming UCLA becomes what you think UCLA is going to be. And they've got a nice, easy run now to get healthy until they get a really tough slate in mid-December. But you see where I'm going on this with a cushion, and I'm not telling you rest on your laurels. I'm not telling you this means everything. But man, oh man, it gives you just a little bit of a margin of error.
Yeah, you don't expect UCLA to fall off the cliff. I don't know if they're going to be, top 25 team when it's all said and done. But it's a team that's going to be solid in the metrics overall. When you look at what you have, always starting ahead is a nice place to be. But I think it was more you wanted to see the eye test of this team versus other athletes. And then what they did and how good they looked against UCLA, as a fan, it gives you a different confidence when they play St. John's and Arizona State or USC, St. Mary's. And Arizona State took Gonzaga to the wire yesterday. And that was Gonzaga pulled away won by 8. But it was a really tight game. And then so you look at the schedule ahead and you feel like this Lobo roster should be able to play with everyone in the non-conference.
Yeah. Yeah, I look at it in Arizona State. I saw Arizona State. What night was I there? Friday night? And Santa Clara played with them too. But Gonzaga beat them 88-80 yesterday. The game I was talking about, JJ, they're an Atlantic 10 team, right? Is that what VCU is? They beat Boston College 80-55 the other night. I mean, I was watching it before I went out to the arena. It was 33-20 at halftime. They put up 47 in the second half. Dude, VCU looked good.
Yeah, that could end up being the second best, like, net whatever game on your schedule. Now, it's a home game, but in terms of, like, how good VCU could be versus, where St. John's and UCLA and those are teams end up.
No, yeah. We'll see. We'll see where, again, it's early. And Arizona State's 2-0, and they beat two good teams. They beat two West Coast Conference teams. Tracy Murray, the former UCLA star, who was doing he was on the UCLA broadcast sitting next to us. And at one of the breaks we took late in the game, took a headsets off and looked at each other. And he just pointed at New Mexico. He's like, they're good. And I think they looked really good. They can be good. JJ, here's what I learned about Lobos. I think they're deep. Pre-game show, Richard Pitino said, I want to get guys more minutes. He says, I really like Sacco. I didn't get him much time. He got 10.5 minutes in this game. He says, how am I going to, I want to get a Tilly some time. And then foul trouble. I mean, there were 26 fouls called in New Mexico, 24. There were 50 total fouls in that game. There was no flow early, especially in the first half. But and then how about when Donovan Dent goes down and you're in a tight game, a relatively tight game, big minutes, and you got to go to a freshman point guard in Cade Dotson. And I thought he played well until Donnie came back. I thought he grew up. I thought Secco gave you really, really good minutes. He gave you 4 fouls, but and let me give you another one. And this is something when Richard's with us on Thursday, I want to talk to him about. And I didn't ask him this in the post-game show, and I meant to. You look at the box score, and you'll say, "Wow, True Washington. He played almost 30 minutes, and scored 3 points. And that dude, I thought played so well. He rebounded. He played defense. He had 5 steals to go with 5 rebounds. Yeah, he didn't score a lot. He was 1 of 7, but he was so key in that game. And it's one of those absolute instances that shows you don't have to score a bunch of points to contribute.
No, when you have your head coach saying that you could be the defensive player of the year, that's going to be your bread and butter. And True Washington, I do think that he'll be fine offensively this year, but they need him to be their best perimeter defender because that can't be Donovan Dent.
That's correct.
With his knee
That's
and
correct.
His offensive usage, True's going to have to step up and take the best perimeter player on the other team.
Let me give you something that I didn't know also. Borovichinen can guard the perimeter. He's about 6'8", and he's really long, and he's a lot quicker than, I don't know, than he looks, than you thought, whatever you want to say. But Philip Borovichinen was out guarding the perimeter and guarding point guards. And that's something I didn't know about him or this team. And I think that is going to be because he's really, really long.
Yeah.
And he's disruptive. And that was something I thought was impressive for me, but key in this particular game.
And that's why I've talked so much about this team having a defensive identity, just because there's going to be growth. But my biggest question is that bench.
Fair.
Yes, you piece it together, but outside of C.J. Noland, I don't know where they're going to get points.
Well, all right. So they had how many bench points in this game? Where's bench points on this thing? They had a lot of bench points. Where the hell's bench points?
Yeah, C.J. had 13, but then Braden had 3,
and that was one. He had 1 3-pointer.
Tiki had 4, and Sacco had 2.
Yeah. I guess that's it, huh? All right. I think it evolves. But again, I liked, and especially the defensive minutes that Ali Atiki gave you, that Ibrahim Sacco gave you. Milicevic got in foul trouble early, and he never got back in after the first half foul trouble. But we'll see. It's going to evolve. All right, 505-246-0667. We'll get in the NFL when we get back. Cowboy fan, I don't even know what to tell you anymore. Who's more miserable, Jet fan or Cowboy fan? Yes? And then Bronco fan. That was for a minute you felt it, didn't you? We'll get into that. It's the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck. A 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
This message.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All in Autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats, and share your own legacy. Visit All In Autographs, where you can celebrate the great and have your own piece of history.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
I might not be in the cage as much anymore. Just like riding a bicycle, I can pick up the fight from where I left off. I'm not some slick-haired outsider posing with borrowed gloves. I grew up here. New Mexico is in my blood. I'm a New Mexican fighting for other New Mexicans. I'm Adam Oki. I'll be your champion in the courtroom.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Hi, my name is Ruben, and I'm with the New Mexico Educational Assistance Foundation. We are proud sponsors of high school and college sports. Either college or trade, we can help you find the funding you need. Go to nmfafsa.org. That's nmfafsa.org.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gala Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way.
Bar yesterday, and it was filled with Bronco fans, and I just told each one of them, just wait. Whether it's a punt rolling off a guy's leg or Mahomes pretending he's going to run out of bounds and they stop because they don't want a personal foul, or he throws a pick and they call a penalty, something's going to happen or it's going to cost them the game. And sure as taxes, death, and the crusher being accurate, it happened again. And players make plays, right? But Jesus, execute a freaking field goal. JJ, when that quarterback, your young quarterback, hit that 3rd and 8 crossing pattern to get them in field goal range, I'm like, okay, here we go. Nice play. And they're going to run the clock out. It was executed perfectly. And sure as heck, the Chiefs found a way. You got to figure the law of averages are going to catch up to them. And I think it's going to happen in the playoffs. I appreciate you letting me taking my call, and I hope you guys have a delightful Veterans Day. Thank you for all the veterans who have proudly and bravely served this country. I appreciate it.
It's actually really good points. Did you have a good feeling, or did you have a sick feeling as they lined up for a field?
I had a good, fine feeling.
Yeah, right.
Like they executed it well. Bo Nix
right
was fantastic in that game. No turnovers, throwing the 2 touchdowns. What he did on that final drive, and you just gotta hold your blocks.
It's kind of crazy. And when you look at the Chiefs, they are undefeated. They are 9-0. Everybody's like, where are they going to lose? Well, they play the Bills next week. That's
like any time they play, they could lose.
Well, but I was in a text conversation yesterday, and basically, my point was I love parity, and not knowing. I like the NFL where it is right now. Not knowing every game, you don't know who's going to win. You don't know the Patriots are going to win, or you know that, right?
Panthers have won 2 in a row.
And somebody said, well, it was said on there except for the Chiefs. And I'm like, yeah, but the Chiefs have won on a blocked field goal, on a toe being out of bounds, on what was the other thing? The Bengals game. How'd they win that one? Right? All these little, they're winning by 1 possession every week. Like they're big. That's the bet. Play the underdog in the Chiefs game. You'll win the bet, by the way. Yeah, we'll get there on our 3-for-all. But they did win, and they do find a way to win. I mean, what's more impressive, them finding a way to win the way they did, or the way like Detroit won last night? I guess it's the same thing. It's the same thing, though, right?
Yeah, just almost Detroit when your quarterback throws 5 interceptions.
Am I insane?
And Houston can't find a way to win that game at home.
They didn't score a point in
the second half. Yeah. That's a disaster.
Houston?
Houston's a disaster.
So is that one of your worst losses of the weekend?
Yes. A quarterback turns over 5 times. You're up 23-7 at home.
Man,
you can't win that game.
I'll make them. Is that a worse loss than Denver's?
Yes.
No, it's not.
Yes.
In my opinion, it's not.
They can both be bad losses. But you're up 23-7. Jared Goff throws 5 interceptions, and you lose that game.
I got him at 3-2. Those are number 3 and number 2. There was a worse loss than that, don't you think? Atlanta was bad, dude. Atlanta can't lose that game. Atlanta
kickers, man.
Kickers. Atlanta can't. I mean, Younghoe Koo, who's so damn good, who, by the way, was on one of my teams. Yeah.
He's only hitting like 70% of his goals.
I gotta make a change. Yeah. Where did he go to school?
Is it Georgia State?
Southern.
Yeah.
The only way I know that is because when I used to do Aggie Vision, him and the running back, God, he had a great career in the NFL for a while. They're both on that same team. that was it. All right, let's do this. Let's hit this break. Let's actually hit it on time. And when we come back, we are going to have a conversation with CJ Nolan. Level basketball with a big win. I want to put it in perspective where they go from here, how they did it, the focus on defense, and what it means to beat those guys, right? And Mick Cronin, after the game, the UCLA coach, talked about, they all come in, they heard about the great players, everybody's getting ready for UCLA. Well, that's right. And so what does it mean to beat those guys? Lobo guard CJ Nolan when we come back. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
This report is sponsored by...
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Got shots? Got shots? Got shots?
During Got Shots, participating providers open their doors for any child who presents for immunizations, regardless of whether they are a patient or whether they have insurance.
TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sport shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. TurboThreads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for TurboThreads.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. Our law firm was founded by my father, Thibaut J. Chavez, with one goal: to get New Mexicans the help they need. That's why we built a different kind of law firm. We focus on family values, dedicated service, and we make a real contribution by giving back to our communities. We can't change what happened to you or your loved ones, but we can help you get back on the road to recovery. We're by your side, and we're still as local as red and green.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All in autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats, and share your own legacy. Visit All In Autographs, where you can celebrate the great and have your own piece of history.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. For over 4 decades, our law firm has remained steadfast in our commitment to serving the remarkable people of New Mexico that have been injured through no fault of their own. I'm a New Mexican fighting for New Mexicans. I received my bachelor's degree at NMSU and earned my law degree at UNM.
We'll give you the Audible, the Sports Animal Audible. You'll take a word and listen to the afternoon show, 2 Men On. And when they call for it, you call in and you'll have an opportunity to win goodies. It's the opening drive, Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck still celebrating our Lobo fans. A big, big Friday where Lobo football was in San Diego and was a winner 21-16 over the Aztecs. Meanwhile, in Henderson, Nevada, Lobo basketball with a gigantic victory, 72-64 over UCLA. We'll get back to your phone calls in just a little bit. I want to talk about Lobo hoops for a minute and talk with one of the keys coming off the bench with 13 points in 19 minutes and played terrific defense in that Lobo victory. CJ Nolan joins us on the Sports Animal. Good morning, CJ. How you living?
Good morning. I'm living good. I'm living good.
Has your phone slowed down yet? No, we're good. Appreciate that. Thank you. Has your phone stopped getting all the texts yet? I mean, did it just blow up after that game?
Yeah, no, it stopped. It slowed down a bit.
I hear it in the background. See, there it goes. It's still going. Hey, I know I talked to you right after the game, and we were in that moment. But as you sit here 2 days later, and I know you're on to the next one. Corpus Christi's in town this week. You got business to do. Right. But put in perspective what that means for you, and you're brand new to this program, but you got a pretty good feel for it. What does it mean for you and the program?
Man, it means a lot. I mean, they're a ranked team, and I know that Coach wanted to beef up his non-conference schedule, and then coming out with that dub, it really helps with our confidence and our motivation for the rest of the year.
I thought this was one on the defensive end, and you guys put up 91 points in the opener, but you gave up 84. And I'm going to guess Coach harked on the defense more so than the offense going into UCLA.
That is correct.
Is it fair to say you won this game because of defense?
I would say our intensity definitely picked up from the Nichols game, and I think that definitely played a role in it for sure. Yes, sir.
CJ, when you made the decision to come to the University of New Mexico, it was for moments like this. And for yourself, what were you envisioning this year? Like, I know it's team success first, but for you, what did you want to get out of this season, and what has the first couple of weeks done for that process for you?
Man, I just wanted to stay consistent coming here to New Mexico. I knew they needed another consistent guy here, and that's all that I'm planning to do for the team. I want to help the team win, and I want to help the team succeed as far and high as possible. So, yeah.
What have you learned about this fan base? I mean, you knew about the pit, right? I know Coach sells the pit, right? But you knew about it. You're 2 games in. You saw the crowd that traveled to Vegas, which was, I thought, really impressive. I think you're going to be really impressed with how many of them are in New York. What have you learned about the passion of this fan base? That you already knew that they were passionate, but have you realize a little bit more?
I did. I mean, they're more passionate than I thought they were, and everybody was telling me that they were passionate. I mean, I think it's the best fan base. I know it's the best fan base that I've ever played for, and I know I want to continue to keep making them happy, and the team wants to continue to keep making them happy with wins. So that's what we're going to try to do for them.
He's CJ Nolan Lobo Guard. He's with us on the Sports Animal. All right. It's about, just under 8 minutes to go. You're up by 16, and Donovan Dent goes down. And you guys, I saw a lot of faces in there. I saw Donnie's face when he went off. Was anything said at that point? Because obviously at some point, and you're a team captain now, somebody's got to be a leader at that point. There's your obvious on-court leader who goes down in a key situation. Was anything said? Did anything need to be said at that point?
Yeah, man. I mean, I just told him, I just looked at all the guys and said, we have to finish. We have to finish the game. I mean, we were up. I mean, simple as just finishing the game and continuing to rebound and play solid defense.
And then a freshman comes in. I talked to Cade at the airport coming back, and here you are now. All right, here's a guy who's playing high school ball last year, and now he's in a game. Mm-hmm. He's got the ball in his hands, and you're holding on to the lead against UCLA, right? And I thought he played pretty well, but you guys have to have confidence in a guy like that when he goes in that situation.
No, for sure. Kay was really good in high school at, controlling the ball and having the ball in his hand. He's really comfortable with that. So I knew that he wouldn't be too shocked from that. But I'm really proud of Kay. Yeah, he played really well. Yes, sir.
CJ, when you're an athlete and you guys, it's on to the next day and you have to be focused and bring that same energy every single day. But when you have a moment like that, how much do you enjoy it or use it to fuel you moving forward, where you obviously don't want to start overlooking things, but enjoy what you guys did accomplish?
I mean, I think it just shows how much how much consistency that we could show. I think that having this team that we have with all the guys that have played college basketball before, I think that we shouldn't, overlook Corpus Christi. But I mean, using this UCLA game as fuel for us will, ultimately help us throughout St. John's games and Arizona State games and, all the bigger games that we got, including March Madness. So, yeah.
I look at this, and I said to JJ earlier, I mean, it almost gives you a cushion. And I don't want to say you don't want to win every one of them. But Coach said to me during the pregame show, but scheduling these games means nothing if we lose them all. And I didn't even think about losing them all. But this gives you a cushion from a fan base. But it's got to give you confidence, right? Saying, all right, yeah, we'll
100%.
schedule them, and damn it, we're good enough, and we belong, and we can win them.
100%. Yeah, I mean, the UCLA game just displayed that for us, I believe, and that we can go out and beat these high-ranked teams early on in the season. So, I mean, it gives us the ultimate confidence, but we still have to stay humble and still have to work every day.
We talked about the effort, and you mentioned the intensity against Nichols. And I know I said to you in the postgame show, it's natural, right? It's human nature. I think the fan base was more fired up for a UCLA game than Nichols. It's just because one said UCLA across the front, and the other said Nichols. Nichols came and brought it, and it was a tough game. You get another one of those, right? You can't look past Corpus Christi tomorrow night. Everybody I talk to is talking about St. John's, playing in Madison Square Garden. I know you're thinking about it. Why wouldn't you think about playing in Madison Square Garden? What's Coach's message about tomorrow and making sure you take care of business tomorrow?
We just have to take care of business as what's in front of us first. I mean, we can't overlook any game. I mean, that's how people end up dropping one or, having an upset. But we don't want a shot from Corpus Christi. We want to just finish our job and then move on to the next game, and that's what we're trying to, look forward to every game. Yeah. Just next game, that mindset.
What'd you learn about this team? Because I looked at the bench and I looked at dudes who came in and I was just telling JJ, I said, you can look at a stat sheet and it could tell you a story, but I mean, like you look at Drew Washington's line, it doesn't tell you the story about what kind of game he played. I thought he was terrific. And then I thought Atiki and Ibrahim Asako gave you huge minutes off the bench that may not show up big in a box score.
I think that just this team is deeper than people think. I think that a lot of players have a lot of skills that they want to show, and I think that when they get on the court, they will do that, and I think they'll play their hardest while doing that. So, I mean, I think this team is, pretty deep as far as, rotations and what guys can play or stuff like that, for sure.
He's C.J. Noland with us just for a few more minutes, one of the team captains, Lobo senior for Lobo basketball.
CJ, you've talked about just the consistency, and you want to bring that each and every day for yourself, too, in terms of, coming off the bench with that energy, being a ball handler. Is that something that you're excited to do maybe a little bit more throughout the season as that combo guard?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, like I said, I don't do anything to help the team win. If that means me, becoming a combo more, then I'm for surely with that. I mean, I just want to win big here.
You comfortable coming off the bench? I know most of your career you played a lot of minutes. You still got, you got your minutes. What did you get? 19 of them before fouling out. But are you comfortable in that role? Would you rather be a starter? You're good where you are?
Oh, yeah, it doesn't really too much pertain. I mean, or it doesn't really matter to me. I just want to help the team win. I think that me coming off the bench, I do bring a spark, and I think ultimately that does help our team, maybe in a different way that other people see. But ultimately, I just want to help the team win, man. It doesn't matter if I'm started or off the bench, honestly.
Yeah, you had a good career at North Texas, and it's a program that's on the rise and in a good place in the American. You had a lot of opportunities. Why, when you were in the portal, why New Mexico? How did that whole thing go down? What was the process that finally landed you with the Lobos?
Ultimately, AK hit me up when I was in the portal, and I had a previous relationship with him, and I knew they had a good thing going here in New Mexico with the pit and with previous success in years. And I just wanted to come be a part of that. I mean, I think the fan base told me how much they actually love basketball because I haven't played for a fan base like this before. So, I mean, I think the fans definitely sold me, but AK had a huge part to do with that and their previous success.
Yeah, and then you come in, you like the style, you like what they're doing. I mean, it feels like there's a pretty good vibe around it.
Yeah, 100%. The play style as well. I mean, I wanted to play faster my last year, so that 100%, all those things go into it for sure.
going to Vegas, doing that, and you guys go there a bunch of times, and they've had a lot of success. When you go on the road for these early trips, like you're going to New York, I got a feeling. I don't really know. You know, I was just filling in this week, but just being around you guys, going to shoot around, it feels like this team's bonding early. And I've been around a number of teams, and I don't know, man. You could tell me, no, this is how every team is, or maybe it's different. It feels like you guys might kind of like each other a little bit. Is that
no, 100%, we do. I think it was intentional with, recruiting, coach recruiting really good kids, and we bond a lot off the court. I think we're really good friends, and I think we'll be friends for a very long time. I think that team chemistry is one of the things that helps the team go really, really far. So I'm really excited, and glad that you said that, and that other people are recognizing that friendship and bond as well.
Yeah. Congratulations on the win. Keep it rolling. Big one. They're all big, but you got one tomorrow because UCLA win means nothing if you drop one tomorrow, right? So
100%.
Take care of that. Safe travels to New York, and we'll do this as the season goes on, man. Appreciate you.
Yes, sir. Appreciate y'all.
All right, be well. He's CJ Nolan. And I said that, JJ, when I got to fill in for Rob this week, and so I was on the bus and I was at the shoot around it. And I've been around, I've filled in for him for years, and so I get a trip every now and then. And there's been some close teams. I don't know. There was a weird. I don't even know how to explain it. You get it because you travel with the ladies all the time. They felt like a really close unit. Like they felt like they really liked each other, and that was before the victory, right? And I didn't ride the bus back. Bus took off before I packed up all my crap. Post game, I got a ride. I mean, they made sure I had a ride. I had a ride back to the hotel. So I wasn't on the bus right after the win, but I was to the airport the next morning. But you get that, right? You can sense a feel, and I think there's a lot to be said about when teams like each other as opposed to Auburn when they're fighting on a plane and have to turn the charter around.
And yet they still won in Houston.
How about that?
Maybe it's a galvanizing moment for
How about that damn story?
the Auburn Tigers.
So crazy. All right, you can get in on what you heard there, 505-246-0610. Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck, Lobo football coach Bronco Mendenhall scheduled to be with us coming up at 9 o'clock this morning after their big victory. What a weekend, huh? It's the opening drive. Jeff, JJ, 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. For over 4 decades, our law firm has remained steadfast in our commitment to serving the remarkable people of New Mexico that have been injured through no fault of their own. I'm a New Mexican fighting for New Mexicans. I received my bachelor's degree at NMSU and earned my law degree at UNM. I can proudly say I'm both an Aggie and a Lobo. Call now and I will meet with you. 40 years strong, and we're still as local as red and green.
Hi, my name is Ruben, and I'm with the New Mexico Educational Assistance Foundation. We are proud sponsors of high school and college sports. Either college or trade, we can help you find the funding you need. Go to nmfafsa.org. That's nmfafsa.org.
I'm a Blaze King customer, and I have been for the last 10 years. Blaze King stoves are very efficient, they're easy to maintain, and they use a lot less wood than you would typically use with a fireplace.
Blaze King, that's a fire.
The heat is on when it's a Blaze King wood stove, controlling heat up to 40 hours on a single load of wood with a built-in thermostat. See for yourself at either Blaze King showroom, Albuquerque and Santa Fe. Blaze King, and now that's a fire.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gallus Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
Industries is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
I might not be in the cage as much anymore. Just like riding a bicycle, I can pick up the fight from where I left off. I'm not some slick-haired outsider posing with borrowed gloves. I grew up here. New Mexico is in my blood. I'm a New Mexican fighting for other New Mexicans. I'm Adam Oki. I'll be your champion in the courtroom.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros.
Now, voted the best sports show in New Mexico for 5 years running. It's the OD in the AM with three-time New Mexico Sportscaster of the Year, Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck.
Sparks that ignite to my intros, tempos will flow, minds will just blow.
Happy Veterans Day. All of you who have served, who are serving, and the families of those who have served and are serving, thank you. Enjoy Veterans Day. I know there's a lot of opportunities out there, a lot of places doing free meals and celebrations and recognitions. Thank you to all of you for your service from the bottom of our hearts. It's the opening drive, Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck. 505-246-0610. We just heard from CJ Nolan, Lobo men's basketball after the big victory over UCLA. Lobo football coach Bronco Mendenhall will be with us coming up at 9 o'clock. That was another big victory. Lobo football winning in San Diego, beating the Aztecs. And that leads us to our Audible, Omaha! The audible word for the day, JJ, will be celebrate. Celebrate, because so many of you celebrated quite a bit after Lobo double victory on Friday night, beating up on Southern California quite a bit. So what do you do with that audible word? You listen to the opening, or you listen to Two Men On this afternoon. They start at 4 o'clock, Van and Fred. They'll be live out at Howie's sports page as they are on Mondays. You can go hang out with them. And at some point during their show, they will call for the audible word of the day, and you be whatever caller they say, and they'll have a prize for you, courtesy of your friends here at 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal. Is that how this works? Think I got it down now?
Yes.
Somewhat like that. All right, 505-246-0610. Man, you guys are in with all kinds of stuff. The email line is just smoking. And I'll read as many as we can as we go through the day. Montana State's 10-0 versus Boise State 8-1. Who wins if they play on a neutral court, Jeffy? Maybe slight edge to the Broncos because of Genty. Yeah, the Broncos are good. How about Nevada? I mean, Nevada game was good. There was a late turnover in that Nevada game. Nevada had a shot at them.
They did. Nevada has been one of the most impressive teams this season, just from zero expectations to how competitive that they've been.
How about the standings in the Mountain West Conference, right? When you go, like, everybody picked Boise State. Who was the number 2 pick? Do you remember? Was it Fresno State? No, it was UNLV. It was UNLV. And the only reason UNLV, well, let's see what happens. Colorado State's got the border war where anything can happen in a rivalry game. What the hell's happened to Fresno State? They got beat by Air Force. And as good as Nevada is, JJ, they're 0-5 in league play. They were picked at the bottom, weren't they? But boy, they lose some close games. I mean, they lose some really close games. But there's New Mexico right in the middle, tied for 5th. And I know that's not a big deal in an 11-team league. And you go, yeah, whatever. But I think you know the history of Lobo football. Tied for 5th. If they end up 4-3 in this league, that's a huge success, isn't it? Now, I'm not. There's no guarantee they're going to beat Hawaii. And Timmy's got them playing pretty well too now, right? I mean, Hawaii loses to UNLV by 2 this last weekend. They beat Fresno the week before. They pumped Nevada. I mean, they're playing a lot better now. Let's see what happens. Is the league down? Yeah, I'll guarantee. I'll.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
And it's not something that anyone's trying to run from, not hide from. This is what we have discussed throughout the season: is Lobo football taking advantage of this year and trying to make some inroads as a program.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. And that's why I keep telling you, man. Yeah, if you're taking whatever it means, all I know is those are programs that have been beating up on you for years, and that's the steps you take to get better. It just is. And so San Diego State 9 in a row, or whatever it was, Air Force, and the only one you didn't snap was Colorado State. You're getting better. All right, NFL stuff. Omar's in. Boy, Cowboy fan, where are you? I feel for you, but I mean, do I? In a lot of respects. Omar says, Jeff, until the last 3 seasons was Dallas Cowboys set school Mountain West records for wins. This is historically just above a 500 franchise since Barry Switzer hoisted the World Championship belt at Sun Devil Stadium against Hammers Steelers. So I'm not sure why the expectation is championship every year. Maybe Dallas Cowboys just aren't that good. Yesterday was a preview of what you're going to see at the Star until 2030, so get used to it. Can you see now why Omar jumped off the bandwagon? Is this a preview for 2030? All I know is I see no way it's getting better this year. And I see the infighting, and I'm listening to the stuff that's coming out of there, and I'm listening to the quotes afterwards, and I see a franchise that is in absolute turmoil, that I don't know who the leader is. I don't know who the leader can be. I see no reason why I think it's going to get any better this year. I see a team that's getting pumped every single week, that feels like they quit, and now the excuses are everything from the coach to the son. The son was in my eye.
I don't think they quit, man. They're just not good.
They're not good, dude.
Everyone's savior, Cooper Rush. Like, you look good when the Cowboys were a much better football team. And then you realize, there's a reason they didn't go all in on Cooper Rush. There's a reason this guy's a backup in the NFL. And it was evident yesterday.
I was listening on a national show coming in this morning. Dak's out for the year, right? Dak's going to have the surgery, and he's done. And that's the right call. And somebody said, well, what do they do at quarterback going forward? They have no choice. What do you mean, what do they do at quarterback? I think they have a $90 million cap hit next year at quarterback. And they just paid this guy $60 million a year. What do you mean, what do we do at quarterback? That's the only position that you're settled. Maybe at number 1 wide receiver. What do you mean, what do we do at quarterback? Right?
Yes, there's no discussion there. It's, can they somehow, some way accidentally build a team?
Yeah, but how's that going to happen when you're trading away 4th-round picks for Jonathan Mingo? Like, where are you going?
This is, and Cowboy fans have watched this over and over and over again. This is not going to change. It's going to be the same old thing because Jerry Jones is the end-all be-all for that franchise. And if you're asking, what's going to change, how is it going to get better, it's not. It's going to be more of the same.
But here's what's changed, right? In the past, they're winning in the regular season. In the past, there was a facade, this mirage that they were contenders. In the past, they were winning 10, 11, 12 games in the regular season and beating up on a bad division. Now, they are the bad division. Now, they are the Giants. Now, Washington is way better than them. The Eagles beat them 34-6 in their own place. Like that's now even that mirage is gone. That shine is off, the lipstick's off that pig. Now the realization is you're peeling this back and you're saying, holy smokes, not only are they small up front, not only are they not talented, there's no hope. Like, where are you going? Is your best bet to get a top 5 draft pick? What are you going to do with it? Your cap is beat up. Now that's what's changed to me. It used to be in October and November, a Cowboy fan was feeling, wow, we're really good and we're a contender. And this is the year. And look at this, where we just beat up on the Giants 52-7 or whatever the hell it was, right? Now, you don't even have that. That's to me what's changed.
Yes, it laid that out fantastically. You had this false sense of security of your regular season record in Dallas, and now moving forward, they've hit on first-round picks, but one first-round pick is not going to change everything when that foundation of that roster needs a lot. You build up, it needs to get stronger, it needs to get bigger, and then that takes deeper in the draft. You have the draft capital that used one of those picks to get at best a wide receiver 3. You're hoping, you're keeping your fingers crossed.
Maybe. All right, 505-246. When we get back, I want to get into the Broncos loss, how that happened. Pittsburgh with a big win. New England won again. Arizona quietly wins every week. The Chargers have snuck into contention. NFL stuff is open for you as we go through it, and guys just turning on their own teammates. We'll do that when we get back. As you search for a place to hold your holiday party, I have got that solved for you. As you search for a place for a reception, a convention, a gala, I've got that for you as well. It's the Albuquerque Convention Center, because they can handle all of it. No matter how big or not big your event is, it's special, and they will make it feel special. With over 600,000 square feet of flexible indoor and outdoor meeting space right in the heart of downtown, with a parking garage adjacent to the facility so it's easy in and out, with a menu that will make everything that you want come to life, and a staff that goes above and beyond. The Albuquerque Convention Center is your spot. From intimate meetings and gatherings to grand expos and conferences, staff, service, food and beverage options, it all goes above and beyond. Your dream event will become a reality, and it will be the event everybody wants to be at. Take a look at what they've got. Look, we go every year. Isleta New Mexico Bowl, we take our players there. Why? Because they take care of them. We're in the hospitality business. We got to rely on people. They make sure our players feel and are treated the way they're supposed to be. Be at the center of it all. Take a look at them online, albuquerquecc.com. It's all right there at albuquerquecc.com. And then give them a call at 505-768-4575. That's area code 505-768-4575. It's the Albuquerque Convention Center. Be at the center of it all.
This report is...
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. Networks.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit HansWhitlerAuto.com.
Got shots? Got shots? Got shots?
During Got Shots, participating providers open their doors for any child who presents for immunizations, regardless of whether they are a patient or whether they have insurance.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sports shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. TurboThreads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for TurboThreads.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memories.
Opening drive, Jeff Symbieta, J.J. Buck, 3 for all on Friday. We each picked 3 NFL bets. You want the good or the bad? Well, I went 2 for 3, right? I lost with Atlanta. I took Atlanta laying 3.5. I thought New Orleans was done. They weren't. I took Philadelphia laid 7.5 over Dallas. That was easy. I took Arizona at home. I got 1.5 against the Jets with Arizona, and they went out and handled the Jets. What was the final on that one? 31-6. I think I won that convincingly. So I went 2-1. I improved to 17-15-1 on the season. 2 games over 500. Is that right? I was 1 over. Now I'm 2 over. That sounds right. JJ, you went into the week 16-14. You lose all 3. You took the Lions minus 3.5. They won by 3. You lose on the hook, right? You took the over on Kansas City, Denver at 41.5. The total was 30. And you laid. Wait, you took.
I won.
Oh, you won on Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh.
Yeah, you won on Pittsburgh.
Winner.
Yeah, you won on Pittsburgh. All right, so you go 2-1. So what are you?
1-2.
You 17-16 now? Yeah, 17-16 on the year. So you're 17-16, and I'm 17, 15, and 1. It's kind of crazy, but we're both above 500, right? All right, 1 and 2 on the weekend. What was the toughest loss? Like not the biggest loss. I'll get to my biggest winners and losers at 9:30. But like the toughest way to lose, it's got to be
it's the Broncos.
It's got to be the Broncos, right?
Did everything right. Have the Chiefs on their heels. Bo Nix just continues to look like that dude. So much better than I thought he could be in this offense with what's around him. He's been fantastic. He executed on the final drive and tapped field goal kick block.
Broncos complete on third down. I thought he was it was Cortland Sutton right on the third down play, I believe. Big third down crossing route. I thought he was composed. They were on the road against the defending champs, the unbeaten team, the last unbeaten. I mean, everything was right there. The 72 Dolphins had the champagne out. The cork was ready to pop. And then instead of pop, you get a block off. The Kansas City Chiefs beat the Broncos in a block off. And they remain unbeaten. Boy, Mahomes, you would have thought Mahomes won the Super Bowl after that. You see him running around like that?
Because he knew.
Not beating the Denver Broncos.
Absolutely stole one.
They absolutely
in that
did.
moment. And he also missed a Travis Kelce wide open on the 3rd and goal play.
In the end zone, yeah.
Right in the end zone, which that allowed Kansas City had to settle for a field goal, which allowed Denver to have the opportunity to win a game with the field goal. But I still don't know how so many times in red zone situations that dude is open.
Kelce? We've said
it
that
makes
for years.
No sense.
Yeah.
Like, why not just make someone else catch the football? Who cares? Anyone else. But he had a touchdown early in the game where he came off the line, turned wide open. Like, there was no defender around him in the end zone. He breaks open right there. And just of all the people in the passing routes, how is this guy always the one that's wide open?
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, they're going to 87. How do you miss 87? And
because when Mahomes sailed it over Kelce, there's 3 Bronco defenders that were just looking at each other going, whoa, who had this guy? I don't know. How do you not double him in the red zone?
Is that guy any good? Who's 87? Yeah. There were a couple other tough losses now. The way the Giants lost to the Panthers, they win the coin toss in overtime. First play, Tyrone Tracy fumbles.
Yes. Bryce Young, tip of the cap, man. He has
I agree.
Came out, played well the last 2 weeks for being buried, for being thrown not 6 feet under, 12 feet under.
Is his career going to be resurrected by somebody else getting in a car accident?
Even if it's not in Carolina, these moments are going to get him an opportunity. Someone's going to bring him in.
Yes.
And I don't think it's going to be to immediately give him a job, but the Geno Smith type of deal, it's on the table because you win back-to-back games. He made throws in that game. What he's done the last 2 weeks, being able to block out the noise, it is very impressive for Bryce Young. And for the Giants, it's Daniel Jones, man. Like, this was a matchup
you convinced me to pick him up this week and play him.
He should have feasted on this defense.
Yep.
Throws 2 interceptions, can't move the football in the first half. You have Tyrone Tracy, goes over 100 yards, has a touchdown. You have Malik Neighbors, Wendell Robinson, Slayton. Like, you have playmakers, and nothing from Daniel Jones.
Yeah. That's a
shame on me.
Yeah, that's a bad loss, a really bad loss. And then Houston. Houston was dominating the best team in the NFC for the first half, dominating, and then didn't score a point in the second half and loses on a walk-off on a guy that just barely, both right side and left side, the 2 field goals by Bates, barely snuck him in. But you know what? It doesn't matter. Just put him between those 2 sticks. That's a huge win for them, by the way. That's a gutsy win and a gut-wrencher for Houston. Yeah, I got my winners and losers, too. So those are 3 brutal ways to lose. And Atlanta. Atlanta can't lose that game. Atlanta can't lose that game to a team that just fired their coach that lost 7 in a row. They can't. And they did. They go on the road and I mean, that's just, Atlanta's a faker. No, honestly.
They are. They're just.
They're winning their division, but.
They're winning their division by default.
I agree.
It's because everyone else is hurt.
Yeah, I agree. So who is the contender to the Lions in the NFC? It's Philly. Philly's got to be. I believe Washington. Let me see the Rams tonight, see what they look like. I think the Niners will be. The Niners got McCaffrey back. They go on the road. Look, that's a good win for them to go on the road where their kicker not only missed a couple of field goals, but had a wide receiver take a swipe at him on the field, like punch him. How do you address that if you're the head coach, dude? Oh, guys, just have it's okay. It happens, and I mean, is that?
Yeah, how do you address it?
Yeah,
probably in a moment with you and Debo.
Hey, Debo, you can't take a swing at our kicker on the field. Like you can't do that.
And I appreciate how the long snapper handled it.
Because getting in the way, he's the one who took it.
Yeah, trying to stand up for his kicker. And even post-game, I don't not remember his name because he's a long snapper. And I'm sorry. He said, hey, it's feast or famine. And when we're doing our job, no one's talking about us. But when things go wrong, this is what we have to take.
So who's the second best team in the NFC?
It's Philadelphia.
If Washington would have won yesterday, would you put them in there?
I think Philadelphia and Washington are very close. I'm not like jumping.
They play
off.
next week, by the way.
Yes, in a division matchup, which is going to be fantastic Thursday Night Football. I think it's Detroit, Philadelphia, and Washington. So I think Detroit has separated themselves tier 1. Tier 2, it's Philly and Washington, because I do think that in the Commanders, even though they lost, like they needed to show against a really tough team that they could grind it out. Jaden Daniels did make some nice plays, just efficiency. Now, because the Steelers had a good game plan. They pressured him. They didn't let him have the explosive plays, but they went back and forth in that. And then it's kind of who gets hot, because you have to start talking about Arizona.
Dude, somebody better start talking about Arizona.
But there's more ups and downs with these teams. Atlanta, Arizona, Minnesota won, but that's been a few weeks in a row that Sam Darnold's been very underwhelming now.
12-7 over Jacksonville?
The Packers, if they can get Jordan Love healthy, but is he going to be healthy at any point this season? So I'm right there with you. Then you start looking at San Francisco and LA, and all right, can they go on a run? Can they start stringing something together, because they're on the outside looking in right now?
Arizona's won 4 in a row, 5 out of 6. I like Arizona and who they beat.
And they played, by the way, the Lions early in the season, but in a 1-touchdown game.
20-13, and the Bills on the road to open the season, a 1-touchdown game. Yeah, I mean, 2 of their losses, 3 of their losses, the Commanders blew them out. But the Packers handled them up in Green Bay. But they opened the season with a 1-possession loss to the Bills, and then second game, a 1-possession loss to the Lions, and in between, they blew the Rams out. But that was a beat-up Rams team. And the Rams are different now. I want to see the Rams tonight, too. I want to see what they look like against Miami, and you listen to that game here on the Sports Animal. All right, when we get back, again, the audible word is celebration. Or celebrate. But everybody wasn't celebrating. While it was a great weekend for a Lobo fan, not so great on the ball pitch as the season came to an abrupt end for New Mexico United. We'll get there as well. It's the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck, 95.9 FM and AM 610, Sports Animal.
This report is brought.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready!
My coach. My teacher. My older sisters. My grandma. My brother. My tutor. My dad and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sport shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. TurboThreads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for TurboThreads.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com.
Hi, my name is Ruben, and I'm with the New Mexico Educational Assistance Foundation. We are proud sponsors of high school and college sports. Either college or trade, we can help you find the funding you need. Go to nmfafsa.org. That's nmfafsa.org.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gallus Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Mir here. And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team is going through some changes, but we're here to stay. We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field. 505 Sports Adventure is leading the charge in the NIL space. And you can be part of it.
You make my heart better. Try this shit better than all my intentions. Locked in shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in boot camp. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you. I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. For over 4 decades, our law firm has remained steadfast in our commitment to serving the remarkable people of New Mexico that have been injured through no fault of their own. I'm a New Mexican fighting for New Mexicans. I received my bachelor's degree at NMSU and earned my law degree at UNM. I can proudly say I'm both an Aggie and a Lobo. Call now and I will meet with you. 40 years strong and we're still as local as red and green.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
Well, as great of a day as it was on Friday around here for Lobo fan, football beating San Diego State 21-16 and men's basketball beating UCLA, the 22nd ranked team in the country, 72-64. Saturday night out at the ball pitch, this season came to an abrupt end for New Mexico United. It was the Western Conference semifinal, and Corey Bennett of Las Vegas Lights scored the only goal of the match in the 86th minute, and New Mexico, the number one seed in the West, falls to Las Vegas, and the season comes to an abrupt end. It's the opening drive, Jeff Symbieta and J.J. Buck. J.J., it's a brutal way to end. It shows you what knockout stage is, and it's playoff sports. I mean, right? It's not uncommon that the one seed or the home team loses, but man, I don't want to diminish though what the season was, because they put together a really, really good club. They had a terrific season, the number one seed in the conference, and working towards eventually, trying to get that trophy home. But boy, that's
what makes it hurt more for United is the work that you did to set yourself up as the number one seed, have home field advantage, and you gave that game away. It was a terrible giveaway. It led to a counterattack the other way, and the one shot that they get on goal finds the back of the net.
The one.
And
isn't that crazy?
That was all on United. And there were a couple moments late where people are really losing their mind, because yes, there was maybe a minute and a half that Las Vegas had 12 men on the field, like in the 90th, 91st minute, because of some confusion on substitution. But that was after the goal. They're not going to take the goal away. They're not going to replay the game.
And there was a red card issued like at the
someone
very end.
on the Las Vegas bench got sent off. No, there's a lot of frustration, but they did not lose that game because of the refereeing. They lost that game because Vegas jumped on a pass and scored an encounter.
Yeah. So if you're out there and you want to get in on that, and you're welcome to get in on their season as well, 505-246-0610. Grady, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. What's happening?
Weekend celebration leaders of the OD and the AM. What's happening?
Quite a bit, actually. Quite a bit.
So I want to talk quickly about a few things. Lobo football. That was, I think, as impressive a win that they've had this season, really of all season so far. Offense actually closed out a game like they were supposed to, got first downs. The MASH unit of the defense, they stepped up and made some stops when they had to on the road after a heartbreaking and, quite frankly, disappointing loss. Now, all those things factor into it. I think that that was so far their best win of the season, and regardless of if the conference is down and that's what that is. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the over-under at the beginning of the year was, a game and a half?
2.5. Yeah, it was up to 2.5, yeah.
Okay, so 2.5. 2.5 games in this down conference, and they're still exceeding expectations. You have to give credit where credit is due to Bronco Mendenhall and these kids and what they've done. And if you don't want to give credit, so what? Doesn't matter, because then you're wrong, because this team is just better. Lobo basketball, I tell you what, I was thoroughly impressed. Those dudes defend, and those dudes, it's going to be rare when they are out athleted, and you know what? They're in position again. I realize it's only the second game of the season, and teams are going to get a lot better. Well, guess what? This Lobo team is going to get a lot better, like everybody else, and they have a chance to make a difference again because they can defend. So I was really, really impressed with that. And last night in the group chat, Hall of Famer Edward was talking about dominant, and I want to talk a little dominance. And we had about 2.5 feet of snow up here in the village, but we managed to knock off our Titletown sign. Boys cross country won their 5th state title in 10 years on Saturday. They won their 3rd in 4 years. That's not even the quote unquote glamour sport for the village up here up north. But I want to give credit where credit is due. That was a great run, and the Los Alamos Hilltoppers had their dynasty snapped by the Albuquerque Academy boys and girls. So
the girls, the Academy girls. Let's be very clear now, because my baby girl was a captain on that team last year. They won a championship last year. Los Alamos didn't. The Academy girls repeated, and the boys took it away from them 54-50.
Yeah, exciting stuff. So again, in the theme of dominance, but I want to make sure that the kids from the village up here up north, get their due, because 5 titles in 10 years.
That's a big deal, man.
Yeah, that's second only to the basketball team with 5 titles in 9 years. So,
all right, man. Enjoy it up there, and enjoy the snow.
Appreciate the time.
Later. Yeah, cross country, Jana Raymer won again. She won by 66 seconds. The El Dorado Academy freshman. She was an 8th grader last year when she won. This year she won again by 66. JJ, 1 minute and 6 seconds. You know what that is? Like
it's an eternity.
I don't even know that the other girl, the second place girl, was in the stadium yet by the time Gianna was finishing. It's insane. And congratulations to Academy boys and girls on the sweep. The girls repeated. Addison Julian was the state champion, with Anna Hastings coming in 3rd, and repeat for the girls, and the boys back on top. So Coach Adam Kedge with a double victory, and but I had to kind of correct him on that. On the Academy girls, they did win last year. I was intimately involved with that one. It was a big deal. All right, 505-246-0610. Text line is open for you. This is says, hey, it's no Dixie State, but we'll take the win over ranked UCLA. Have you seen NMSU fans on social media carrying on over beating Dixie State? Yeah, Dixie State, LOL. No, I've not. I did not see that. But I guess that might have been a thing. I don't know. I did not see it. Aggie football loses to Western Kentucky over the weekend. They were down 24-7 at halftime. 41-28 was the score. Caden Veltkamp, the quarterback for Western Kentucky, accounted for 4 touchdowns. And we'll catch up with Tony Sanchez, the Aggie coach, tomorrow. This text says, in defense of, that's not right. On a normal team, this is talking about the Cowboys here. This is on a normal team, there's a coach and a general manager who debate the personnel of the team. In Dallas, there is no discussion. There's only what Jerry wants, and he's stupidly loyal to guys that he picked. The Cowboys will suck long after he is gone. This season's over when they got stomped by the Saints. I would argue it was over before the season even began. Okay. And then there is this one. Steve from Michigan saying, how about them Cowboys? Let's say, how about them Lions? Fair enough. Lions are nice. Lions are really nice. Turning on yourselves. What one player said about his head coach for the Cowboys? And will Mike McCarthy make it through the rest of the season? Jerry Jones commented on that as well. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop.
I am Michael Ojera, midfielder for New Mexico United. Clark's support for the United is an example of their commitment to local partnerships. Clark's understands that paying it forward develops a better team and ultimately better community partner.
when you need pet food and supplies.
Clark's is always the best shot.
Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations.
Go United!
ClarksPets.com.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
If you're drunk, blasted, intoxicated, ripped, plastered, destroyed, brah. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman!
This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight.
Boom! Boom!
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready!
My coach, my teacher, my older sisters, my grandma, my brother, my tutor, my dad, and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
If you're drunk, blasted, intoxicated, ripped, plastered, destroyed, brah. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
These days, it's important to know people and businesses you can trust. There's a lot of places where you can buy a vehicle, but there's only a few local dealerships where you'll find honest people who have your best interests in mind. And Fiesta Kia is one of them. We've been helping our neighbors save money and drive dependable cars for years, and we'd love to help you. With new Kias arriving daily, you'll love our selection and the peace of mind you'll get driving a Kia from Fiesta. So stop by and see us today at Fiesta Kia on Lomas, or just start driving now at fiestakia.com.
What's going on?
Who are you guys?
Well, sir, I'm going to pick you up at the DWI checkpoint for drunk driving.
And that's when I have to come down to get you out of jail.
Well, temporarily. I'm Judge Torres. They call him the Hammer. Hey, hot off the presses, champ.
I'm real proud of you, honey.
Way to make them happy back home, Captain. Who's that? That's your new buddy in jail.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier.
How's your car looking? Yeah, I know. It just had a storm. Can I suggest you call On the Spot Automotive Detailing? They will come out and they will take care of that for you. I love when they come out and detail my vehicle and they come to you. Where it works and when it works for you. That's how this is. On the Spot Automotive Detailing was voted best in the city. You know why? Because they are best in the city. It's one of your biggest investments. Protect your vehicle. Have them take care of it professionally detailed. It's what the automobile dealers do. And when they're done, your car will look and feel and smell like the day you took it off the lot. Ask them about a fresh coat of wax. And thank you to our veterans. On Veterans Day, but not just today, On the Spot is offering a 10% discount for the wonderful men and women who serve and have served our country. On the Spot Automotive Detailing, I love them. You will as well. It's a great gift. Give them a look. It's all there. You can book and buy at otsdetailing.com. It's otsdetailing.com. Jeff Sabieta, JJ Buck, 505-246-0610. Bronco Mendenhall scheduled to be with us in 9 minutes. We'll talk with the Lobo football coach. Frank, good morning. Thanks for holding. You're on the Sports Animal. Hello, Frank.
Hey, how you guys doing? Happy Veterans Day to all our veterans. Congratulations on the Lobos. The celebration this weekend kind of reminded me of the Holly Holm Boise State victory that a couple of years ago, I guess that was, right?
Yeah, that was about, that was over a decade ago now, but yeah.
Yeah, and then another question. Did you talk to Coach Cronin of UCLA? Do you know him personally?
No, I don't know him. I mean, I've met him, I've spoken with him, but I don't know him well. No.
Oh, you guys didn't take a picture together?
So here's the deal on that. Everybody's asking me that. So we should have done it at the shoot-around. I was there at the shoot-around, and I was talking to Darren Savino, who's their associate head coach, who used to be an assistant at UNM, and Hunter Green saw Coach Cronin. I didn't see him. But that would have been the time to do it, because after the game, he was in no mood to get all cordial and take a picture with a doppelganger. So no, I did not take a picture. And in fact, on this trip, we just kind of looked at each other and nodded, but I didn't talk to him on this trip.
Yeah, that's kind of funny. Yeah, you thought you were looking in a mirror?
Yeah. Well, I've met him before, and we've kind of had that conversation before in Scottsdale one time. Yeah.
All right. Thanks.
All right. See you. Yeah. You know how many times I got that text? Did you take a picture with Cronin? Yeah. Why are you looking at me like that?
Yeah, it's right on.
Yeah, he was in no mood after the game to go do that.
No.
Yeah. What it should have been done was that afternoon, we were over there about noon for the shoot-around. The UCLA was coming off when New Mexico was going on. And again, like I said, I didn't see him. And I was talking to Darren Savino, who was on Fran Fraschella's staff, and we were just catching up. And Hunter saw Mick Cronin, and he talked to him. He knows him a little bit, but I didn't get that opportunity. No, we did not take a picture. How do you do? I mean, what? How would that work?
Excuse me, Coach. Can we take a selfie, please? It's just people think I look like you.
You don't look like me.
You? Get out of here.
Get the hell out of here. Lobos win that game, by the way, 72-64. You're still celebrating a little bit. Emails. Deutsch says Dallas Cowboys still on TV, Jeffy. Despite sucking, Jerry's guys still have a Sunday night game, 2 Monday night footies, Thanksgiving, etc. Yeah, they do. Yeah, Lions have had Thanksgiving forever, and they have been bad forever. Ron says Dallas Cowboys equal the Aztecs. Jeff, small, slow, lack of play makers on both sides of the football. Maybe. I got to get into this. We'll get into the Diego Pavia thing. Why are the women playing at 5 o'clock on Tuesday, Jeff? I can't watch that if it's on TV, which I haven't heard. Some people still have a job. This feels like another self-inflicted wound. The new AD's got to get this figured out. They just have to. 6 o'clock in Lubbock, Texas. James doesn't like the time of your game tomorrow. Can you fix that for him when you're the new AD? What time do you want him to play, James? What would work for your schedule? If they played later, then you complain they're playing at the same time as the men. Then why are they playing the same day, Jeff? Because they don't control. There's another team that's involved in scheduling. James doesn't like the time.
It's a 5 p.m. Mountain Time tip-off.
Right, 6 o'clock there. Yeah. There's time zones.
So there's plenty of time to listen and or watch both games.
No, he's got a job, dude. He doesn't like your time. He's got to get that fixed.
I'll have a job, man.
You got to get that fixed.
So that's why there's radio coverage and there's also television coverage.
I'm not sure he would have watched or listened anyway. Ken said the second most presaged words ever uttered on the OD Jeffy might be the words, "The world needs new refs." After another high-profile misstep, we finally going to get something done about the officiating in our country, or we're going to be sitting here next Monday laughing about the next blown call. Which blown call are we worried about? What blown call am I worried about from yesterday? Was there? Did you see the end of the Utah game? Utah BYU. Is that the one? Okay, I'm not gonna lie.
Everyone was yelling at the ref.
I was fading hard.
Same.
Hard, and I fell asleep, and I woke up for the last play, and I saw 4th down, and it fell to the ground, and I turned it off, and I read about it the next day. I'm like, whoa! How did BYU escape that? Because Miami lost, and Georgia lost, and BYU I thought they lost, but they didn't. Nor did New Mexico. Big win for the Lobos. Their head coach is Bronco Mendenhall. I'm going to talk with Lobo football coach after the win in San Diego. It's coming up next. Bronco Mendenhall in the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
I'm a Blaze King customer, and I have been for the last 10 years. Blaze King stoves are very efficient, they're easy to maintain, and they use a lot less wood than you would typically use with a fireplace.
Blaze King, that's a fire.
The heat is on when it's a Blaze King wood stove, controlling heat up to 40 hours on a single load of wood with a built-in thermostat. See for yourself at either Blaze King showroom, Albuquerque and Santa Fe. Blaze King, and now that's a fire.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gallus Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 294-7684 or visit HansWillerAuto.com.
Got shots? Got shots? Got shots?
During Got Shots, participating providers open their doors for any child who presents for immunizations, regardless of whether they are a patient or whether they have insurance.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. For over 4 decades, our law firm has remained steadfast in our commitment to serving the remarkable people of New Mexico.
OD in the AM with 3-time New Mexico Sportscaster of the Year, Jeff Symbieta and JJ Vaughn.
Well, what a Friday night it was. Global fan, it's okay if you're still celebrating. The conversation with Bronco Mendenhall is brought to you by the law offices of Rudy Chavez. For 4 decades, Rudy has been helping New Mexicans through legal issues. Call Rudy at 505-242-5500 today and make your legal problems go away. Well, while the teams and the coaching staff, they move on, and it's on to Washington State for football, and it's on to Corpus Christi for basketball. Lobo fans still celebrating just a great Friday night as Lobo basketball wins in Vegas over UCLA 72-64, and Lobo football beats San Diego State 21-16. And for Lobo football, it's just knock down walls. Just keep knocking down more barriers. Breaking streaks over Utah State and Air Force, and this time a 9-game losing streak to San Diego State dating all the way back to 2008. 21-16 was the final. New Mexico wins Friday night in San Diego over the Aztecs. Their head coach is Bronco Mendenhall. He joins us this morning on the Sports Animal. Congratulations, Bronco. How you feeling?
Oh, thanks. Appreciate it. Good morning.
A great win on the road, and I thought it was gutsy in so many ways, but I think probably more than anything, the way your defense played, and as maligned as they've been, to have an effort where you say, wow, our defense went out and won us a football game.
Yeah, I was really proud of our team. I heard just some of the lead up to the game, and in terms of knocking down walls and knocking down barriers. 9 years is a long time.
Yeah.
And there's been 9 different teams, 9 different staffs, 9 different versions of New Mexico football that hasn't been able to win that game, and this version did. And that's 3 conference wins now, which, gosh, the most from 21 to 23 was 1. And so there's just resiliency and grit and determination. And as you mentioned, yeah, our defense played really well. And not only did they play really well, they played 99 plays. 99 plays is 25 more than what a typical college football game is. And San Diego State had 16 points. And so what a great time for our entire team to play complementary football, to believe in each other, and to just keep battling and not allow themselves to ever be counted out. And they're just, I'm really happy for our team.
I'll go that a little bit deeper. It was 9 games, but it was 16 years. 2008 was the last time that this program had beaten San Diego State. So because of the imbalanced schedule, all the way back to 2008 when Rocky Long's last victory as head coach at New Mexico was over them. But to go in there, and here's the other thing I thought was really, really gutsy. You have a lead, and then they take a lead 16-14. And you don't give up, and you've got on the road the resolve to come back, and you ran the ball so well. You've got a leader in Devin Dampier, and you had a drive to come back, and as good as your defense was, your offense found themselves down and found a way to have a drive and win a game.
Yeah, which is just fantastic. Coming off of the game before where 10-point lead and shoot with the ball at 8 minutes, and we don't win the game. Man, we master 4-minute offense. Devin Dampier has just a magnificent run, gets the first down, stays in bounds, and closes out a game. And, that's what good football teams do that contend for conference championships, that contend for postseason play. that have meaningful games in November, they just find a way to make the plays needed at the moments needed, and that's what our team did. And I was just really encouraged and happy again for them and for all Lobo fans that were watching.
Lobo football coach Bronco Mendenhall is with us on the Sports Animal.
Coach, I'm interested what stood out to you in those two goal line stops where you held them to field goals early in the first half, what you guys were able to do to hold them out of the end zone early on?
Just consistency. San Diego State had very few big plays in the run game or in the pass game. And again, I've mentioned it maybe all the way back to fall camp and spring practice. The consistency ultimately is what we're after with this team. And our defense, regardless of where they were on the field and what circumstances, there were very, very few just wild plays or wild misses or wild alignment mistakes or wild miscues. They just played consistent and steady and really coordinated football for a long, long time in that game. And that showed up again in the goal line, open field, really wherever it was. And so just the right players doing the right thing from the right positions repeatedly.
And the consistency, how was your team able to do that with the multiple players that were out in the secondary and be able to play the way they did so many plays and close out that game in the second half?
I wish everyone in the community could watch us practice. I mean, these kids, man, do they work, and they just do it every single day. And they know what they're capable of. They believe in each other on our team. They believe in each side of the ball, and they just keep battling. And they listen to the feedback they're getting from coaches. They value that over anything else. And shoot at one play during the game, as you mentioned, 3 of our starting secondary go out on the same play. And so it was remarkable. We played with both backup corners for the majority of the game, as well as a backup safety, and no one even noticed. They just kept performing, and so a testament to the developmental part of our program and how we practice and ensuring that there's enough depth or the most depth possible. But also we're a no drama program, and the next man is up and is expected to perform. And so you're starting to see signs of what the program is like and what it will be like going forward. And gosh, I think it's hard not to notice that if anyone's paying any attention at all. I think you can just see it kind of morphing and becoming right before us all.
You know, I want to go a little deeper on that. Derek Moore, Noah Pola-Gates, Bryson Taylor, all go out with injuries. And you can say next man up all you want. As you're standing on the sideline, right? I mean, in your mind, what are you thinking? Because, look, man, I think every team that plays well in November goes deep in college football. Every team's got to go deep into their depth chart. But in a game like that, those 3 guys go out. What's in your mind at that point?
Yes. That's a really good question. It was more like, of course, they're all out. I mean, that's just what happens when you transform a program, right, in year one. It was literally, yeah, of course, this is how it works. And so I just kind of chuckled, to be honest, to myself. And I've seen it before, and I know the challenges that come with overcoming history and a place that doesn't know or hasn't had. And there isn't an easy step anywhere along the way. And so, of course, it's going to be even more challenging than what we expected in that game. And then it wasn't, as the next players came in and just played remarkably well.
Bronco Mendenhall, Lobo football coach, is with us for a few more minutes. We're 7 minutes deep and haven't mentioned Eli Sanders and his 173 yards and how good he was. And I think that's a testament of kind of what that game was and where it's been. But, man, he's turned into a spectacular weapon for you.
There's a lot of really cool things happening. And when you think about the 400 yards rushing the week before, without those 2 long runs that Eli has, San Diego State really played well defensively, and I think they're strong defensively, and they played as we expected. Without those 2 runs, we really had a hard time consistently moving the ball and getting the big chunks that we're more accustomed to offensively. And so there's a lot of different plays you could say changed the game or determined outcome. Those two runs certainly, contributed.
Coach, you talk about setting a tone for a program. In the last 2 weeks, it's been Eli Sanders and Devin Dampier, with all the rushing carries and them making the plays, getting back up, getting right back in the huddle. What does that do for your team, just seeing the way those guys are playing?
You can't win championships without being able to run the football. And conversely, without being able to play the run effectively. And so when you have a running game that includes the quarterback, that even makes it harder to handle from a defensive perspective. And those two players, and knowing with Eli, right, when Javen Jacobs went out and Nakari went out, Eli and then Soljay, luckily were deep in that room. But that's been really, really helpful. And that Devin's been able to play the way he has the entire year with the extended plays and the creative plays. And now you see him shouldering even more of the load offensively and running the ball in critical times. To have them both performing the way they are it allows us to still be alive with 2 games to go.
How bad was that field? I mean, it looked horrible. And now it's all said. Understanding both teams had a play on it. Just listen to the comments. It sounded like, what are we doing here?
I visited with Sean, or the San Diego State head coach, before, and he's as frustrated as anyone. And I feel for him that that's their home field, but it's awful. It would be the worst playing surface that I've experienced as a head coach at any level. And beautiful stadium and a magical setting, but the surface was really a challenge. We didn't make much of it to our team, made sure that we had extra cleats, allowed our players to choose the right and the best footwear before, but really took it again as a less drama approach and knowing that was just part of the conditions. And again, both teams had to play. Again, I know their coach and their players are frustrated as well, and everyone's just trying to make the best of it.
Yeah. All right, here's the challenge. And you just said it. You've got meaningful games in November. You still got a goal in front of you that's attainable. You've got 2 games left on the schedule. 21st ranked Washington State comes in. Their only loss was to Boise State this year. They're playing well. They score a lot of points. They're coming off a Utah State victory. I don't know if you compare what they did to San Diego State against 2 weeks ago, your game, if that means anything. But when you look at Washington State, and I know you already have, what do you see?
Yeah, if you start from a comparison on San Diego State, they beat them 29-26, I think, if I remember the score. San Diego State had the lead the majority of the game. Yep. Washington State's playing really well, quarterback-driven, excellent schemes on offense and defense, and they're winning, which is, there's huge momentum. So I really like, a year ago when I had my podcast, visited with their head coach and was super impressed by him as well. But here's the context, right? Bull Hope's still alive with a ranked opponent coming into our stadium with the second to last game in November. What else could you ask for? I mean, it's a fantastic opportunity for our team, for this community, for this institution. What if we pull this off?
Right.
I mean, literally, what if we pull this off? And you can't convince me or the team that it's not possible.
Yeah.
So it just is, what a cool thing for this program and these kids that have worked so hard to have. I mean, they're to the second to last game, and it's the biggest game of the year with the most on the line against a nationally ranked team. What a cool experience.
Yeah, you look at these kids, and what a crazy season, right? And there's games that got away, and then there's games that maybe the Utah State that you pulled out of the fire. I think every week you go into it, and who knows what's going to happen. You might be favored, you might be dogs. I know you don't look at that kind of stuff, but when you look in their eyes, you see belief more so maybe now than you did 4, 5, 6, 7 weeks ago.
I've seen belief the whole time. No, I'll take that back. I've seen hope the whole time. And as I've tried to express to them, I believe this team was good enough and is good enough this year to be postseason. And they are. They're proving that. That doesn't mean they're perfect, doesn't mean it's guaranteed. But you can't convince me or this team that we don't have a great chance versus anyone we play anywhere. And for the most part, these games are going down to the last drive, no matter who we play. And that's my guess, and my hope, and my belief is that's what this one will be like, and the following.
Congratulations on the win in San Diego. Big one on Saturday. A ranked team in University Stadium. Senior night, the final game, a home game of the season, and still bowl hopes alive with a ranked Washington State coming in. Like you said, I mean, what more could you have hoped for when you started out this season? Always appreciate the conversation.
Yeah, what you just described, I think, is what makes college football, and to have that chance for this team and these kids at this time at the University of New Mexico is, they've earned everything they've gotten to this point.
Enjoy the week. We'll talk to you as the week goes on and see you out there on Saturday. Thanks, Bronco.
All right, thanks a lot.
Be well.
Bye.
Bronco Mendenhall, the head football coach of the University of New Mexico. The conversation was sponsored by the law offices of Rudy Chavez. Personal care and the attention you deserve for your legal issues. Call Rudy at 505-242-5500 today. So he said something at the very end, and this is what I was wondering. I said, did you see belief in their eyes, more so now than 4, 5, 6, 7 weeks ago? He said, I've always seen it, and then he changed that. He said, I saw hope, right? And the difference between hope and belief, and that's what, like they lost the 2 games before this, and 2 tough losses. But belief is when you start seeing progress, right? These guys, I have no doubt, I wish everybody could see practices. Okay, we'd love to, but I have no doubt they're working their tails off. And when you work your butt off and finally see some results, all of a sudden you get a little more inspired to go to work, don't you?
They've been close a lot of this season, so they've been able to take those steps faster than I think a lot of people outside the program thought they could.
And hearing it in his voice, when he started, that kind of, I don't want to say giddy because that's not the right word, but this excited laugh when you start talking to him about some of these things, about the injuries, right? About where they are with an opportunity to still go to a bowl game. It's kind of cool. Saturday night at 7:30 might be a fun place to be. It's the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
I might not be in the cage as much anymore. Just like riding a bicycle, I can pick up the fight from where I left off. I'm not some slick-haired outsider posing with borrowed gloves. I grew up here. New Mexico is in my blood. I'm a New Mexican fighting for other New Mexicans. I'm Adam Oki. I'll be your champion in the courtroom.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Hi, my name is Ruben, and I'm with the New Mexico Educational Assistance Foundation. We are proud sponsors of high school and college sports. Either college or trade, we can help you find the funding you need. Go to nmfafsa.org. That's nmfafsa.org.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gallus Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com.
Got shots? Got shots? Got shots?
During Got Shots, participating providers open their doors for any child who presents for immunizations, regardless of whether they are a patient or whether they have insurance.
TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sports shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. TurboThreads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for TurboThreads.
All right, a little breaking NBA news this morning. Oklahoma City's been the best team in the NBA. They've lost one of their best players for 8 to 10 weeks. Chet Holmgren out with a hip fracture, JJ. 8 to 10 weeks, Chet Holmgren out for Oklahoma City. It's a big deal, huh?
That's a season-changing injury. It says 8 to 10 weeks, but you got to expect that there's be a little ramp-up after that. Who knows what physical shape he's going to be in strength-wise coming off that. That's devastating for the Thunder.
Well, yeah. All right. You can respond to what you heard from Bronco Mendenhall. Good conversation with him about the defense. Him laughing when I said Derek Moore goes out, Noah Pola Gates, Bryson Taylor, all your starting defensive backfield. And he's like that. It was almost like a nervous laughter, right? He said, of course, that's what's going to happen. And, my thought is, and JJ, you were watching the game. I was on the air at the same time, so I didn't watch it live. But I'm thinking, damn, this is a defense that's been porous all season, and now you're going to second and third string dudes. You're in trouble. And dudes balled. Guys balled out.
They did, and they kept it simple. They knew that the freshman quarterback wasn't going to make big plays.
San Diego State.
For San Diego State. Yeah. Danny O'Neal, this was a different field than what Wyoming was throwing out there. Wyoming was able to push the football downfield. They were getting explosives in the run game, and they gave the ball to Cooper 35 times.
Isn't that amazing?
So he got yards, but there were not chunk plays in there, and it was really just the Lobos defense with whoever they had out there, whoever was left at the end of the game. They pretty much played shell coverage, kept everything in front, and were able to make plays.
It's just a really gutsy win, a good win, and again, I'm not gonna tell you greatest win ever. I think it's just kind of one of those that is a building block, right? That's how programs build. The win at Utah State is how programs build. You start to believe you can win, and I get what everybody's record is. I'm not telling you they went out and beat Alabama. Again, it's kind of the same feel after the Utah State win. By the way, the winning game's on the road, which I think is impressive too, right? 3 of their 4 wins are on the road this year. At New Mexico State, at Utah State, at San Diego State. Well, yeah, Jeff, but look at those teams. What are their combined? I get it, man. All I'm telling you is those were teams that have been beating you for how long? You hadn't beat San Diego State since 2008. Air Force was, 10 in a row or 9 in a row, whatever the number was. Utah State. It's how you climb the ladder. Yeah, it's how you build. And now you got opportunities. All right, I wanted to hit you on this. Cowboys have been losing. After the loss, Micah Parsons was asked what he would tell people about Mike McCarthy. The head coach is really taking the heat, and I'm struggling blaming the Cowboys' loss on their head coach. Now he's got to eat some of it. They're not a good roster, but Micah Parsons, who's got his own podcast and tends to throw his own players under the bus, quote, "That's above my pay grade. If Mike's coach again next year, all coaching aside, Mike can leave and go where he wants to." Guys I kind of feel bad for, guys like Zach Martin and guys who might be on their last year on their way out, because that's who I wanted to hold the trophy for. You want to win games and do great things with those type of legends who put in more time and work than Mike McCarthy ever did. So those are the kind of guys that I have so much sympathy and hurt for, end quote. Dude, when was the last time a guy threw his head coach under the bus like that? Honestly.
Yeah, if you're phrasing it that you believe that, Mike McCarthy, he'll fall forward, he'll get another opportunity, he'll be an OC, it sure did not come across that way.
Well, to say Mike McCarthy didn't put in the work, I think is
This is, Michael Parsons this is one where, all right, you want to sound off, then you best be ready. This is all coming back at you.
It's going to. Yeah.
So just be ready for when the spotlight immediately turns to you. And all right, you had 2 sacks coming back.
Attaboy.
But we've also watched you not be a guy like TJ Watt or Myles Garrett. But yet you talk way more than any defensive player in the league, which that's fine, but be ready for it, because once McCarthy is gone, they're going to be looking right at you and saying, do you deserve the biggest contract for a pass rusher?
You got beat 34-6. No. And by the way, Mike McCarthy isn't a silver spoon guy. Mike McCarthy worked his way up the chain. Mike McCarthy was an assistant and a grad assistant and all those assistants worked his way up. Mike McCarthy, by the way, has a Super Bowl ring. Does Micah Parsons? Mike McCarthy, look, I've heard a lot of things about Mike McCarthy. One thing I've never heard is that guy doesn't put in the time. Have you ever once heard the guy Jake said doesn't put in the time?
No.
Is this Mike McCarthy's fault? He's got to take a hit just like everybody else does. He's the head coach. Are they unprepared? Are they this? Are they that? Dude, Cooper Rush is their quarterback. He's not that damn good no matter what you all thought he was. How many people on this show, not many, but a few, told me they shouldn't sign Dak and Cooper Rush should be their guy.
Rush.
Right.
You see the roster isn't as good as it was a couple years ago when Cooper Rush was quarterback and they were able to win games. And then you see they're struggling with Dak Prescott, and now you put Cooper Rush out there, and you'd have 41 yards passing.
What are we doing? I just, why you're throwing your coach under the bus like that? And he could have said all those things without saying the Mike McCarthy stuff. You could say, man, I really wanted to, I feel bad for Zach Martin. Guys like that might be on their last year. That's who I wanted to hold the trophy for. You want to win games for those kinds of legends, period. But then he goes on, who put in more time and work than Mike McCarthy ever did? Why? Why? Mike McCarthy's been working the last bunch of weeks. You've been out. Howard, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. Hi, Howie.
Good morning. So I'm going to raise my hand. Guilty. I'm one of the ones that said, don't sign Dak and bring on Cooper Rush. Cooper Rush and Trey Lance combined do not equal Dak Prescott. So I was terribly wrong about that one. But all the outside noise cannot be helping the Cowboys at all. I mean, and Mike McCarthy, you know what? I would venture to say Mike's got a pretty good bank account, wouldn't you guys?
Yeah, I'm sure he's fine. Yeah.
I'm sure the man is financially fine. I see the look of frustration and grief in his face every week. The man's got a passion for the game. He does, and he wants to win. But when you've got a roster that's got a couple of, you got some marquee players like, some Micah Parsons, CeeDee Lamb, and if you want to call Dak that player, you can call him that player. Overshown is up and coming. But, I mean, you've got a few players that, are household names, and then tremendous drop-off. That roster is a train wreck. And, and that roster is built by the, GM, Jerry Jones. There's nobody to blame for this mess but Jerry Jones, in my opinion. And I mentioned something to JJ earlier. Who would have thunk that Lobo football would have more wins than Cowboy football at this time of the year, right?
Ooh, no one. No one.
No one. No one. Can you imagine if that prop bet was somewhere and I put $10 on it?
Yeah, buddy.
I'd be having a Merry Christmas. I'm gonna leave you with one last bit of information, Jeff, for the chat room. I want you to give me an over/under on how many more Diddy references Edward will post this week.
12 and a half.
Take care of that later.
See ya. All right, I got to take this break. 505-246-0610. I'll give you my biggest winners and losers of the weekend in the NFL when we come back. Take your phone calls at 505-246-0610. Well, are the Cowboys in the biggest loser category? It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM. An AM 610, the sports animal.
Let's paint the town cherry this football season. Friday.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All in Autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats, and share your own legacy. Visit All In Autographs, where you can celebrate the great and have your own piece of history.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We've been trained, conditioned, and rewarded for doing more. But people weren't designed for all that doing. Our bodies need to settle into nothing from time to time. Into nothing at all. In a world obsessed with doing more, we invite you to undo.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543.
Winners and losers from the NFL weekend here in a moment. 505-246-0610. See if they match up with your biggest winners and losers from the weekend. But first, I want to hit the phones at 505-246-0610. Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck. Mike, you're on the Sports Animal. Thanks for holding. What's up, Mike?
Hey, what's up, guys? Thanks for taking my call. Happy Monday morning to you.
Happy Veterans
Day. Great call with Coach Bronco. I'm really, really excited for this Saturday night, taking my daughter out to the game. Can't wait. Really proud of the guys for even, having a shot at this point in the season. I mean, seriously, it's really badass because, it's been a while since it's been like that. But my point is, yes, the Cowboys roster is really, really lacking. Just get that out of the way first. Secondly, Dak Prescott is not worth the money that they signed him to. Not at all. The whole next man up getting paid is absolutely ridiculous. Dak is a middle-tier quarterback no matter what Cowboy lovers think. And then thirdly, this is big time on Mike McCarthy. That team was ridiculously underprepared. Cooper Rush was unable to read defenses. It was completely pre-snap read passes entirely. He never one time read the defense and delivered to the target that was open. Trey Lance did when he came in. He was at least able to read defenses a little bit, but the unpreparedness of that team and the way that they're falling apart, bunch of divas anyway. But seriously, guys, Mike McCarthy has got to go. And one more thing, how about Bryce Young, the Slim Reaper? Every team that he beats is going to end up firing somebody. That's my deal. New York Giants got it coming today. Have a great day, guys.
Later. Yeah, I mean, nothing out of New York yet, right?
Not yet.
All right. You want my biggest winners and losers of the weekend? All right. You want me to go winners or losers? I got a lot of honorable mentions. Let me go losers first. All right. Biggest losers of the weekend. Honorable mention, Dallas, but they were already out. Here's my criteria on these. It's a big picture win and loss, right? It's not, gosh, who looked the worst this weekend? Because it would be the same damn teams every week, right? Some teams just get beat. It's kind of a big picture standings win and loss, what it means. So honorable mention, Dallas, because, I mean, they looked horrible and they're done. And Chicago. I almost had Chicago on there, but I think they're fading. Number 3 for me was Houston. They're up big. They're dominating in the second half, or in the first half. Jared Goff throws 5 interceptions. They still find a way to lose. Number 3 for me was the way they lost that game, and they had an opportunity to really make some noise, to put themselves in a spot in where they are in the playoffs. They're still in first place, and they're 6-4. And so the reason I don't have them higher is because big picture, they still have a 2-game cushion in their division, but that's a tough way to lose. Number 2 is Denver, dude. I mean, and you can make an argument that they're number 1. They had an opportunity not only to knock off the number 1 team in the NFL and give them their first loss, but to stay in second place, to stay in a wild card spot. They had the game won, execute, block, make a field goal, and they get blocked off. That's number 2. And number 1 is Atlanta. You can't lose that game to that team. Atlanta's trying to tell you that they're a contender. Atlanta's trying to tell you that they got an opportunity. They may win that division by default, but to lose a game to a team that had lost 7 in a row and fired their coach and go out and just soil yourself like that, you can't do that. You've got to be better with Kirk Cousins. So number 1 loser, JJ, was Atlanta. Number 2 is Denver. Number 3 is Houston. Oh, somebody's in there. Never mind. So I'll run it by you later when JJ can talk to me. All right, winners. Honorable mention. San Francisco and Arizona. Honorable mention. Big wins for Arizona. I mean, they beat the Jets. Like big win, but you beat a 2-7 or 3-7 football team. San Francisco, big win as well. But number 3, LA Chargers. Look, all the Chargers are doing is winning. What Harbaugh has done is gone in there and got them turned around, and they just win, and they're unleashing Justin Herbert a little bit. They're 6-3. They're a wild card team. Number 2 winner was Detroit. The way they came back from that and to win with a quarterback who throws 5 interceptions. On the road to come back from being down, 23-6 at halftime, to come back and win that game with their defense, not give up a point in the second half, and to go on the road, gutsy win. And number 1 to me, Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh beat Washington 28-7. Russell Wilson was 14 for 28 and threw 3 touchdowns. At halftime, they had 97 yards of offense. They finished with 312. to come back and win on the road against a team that was really, really good and to stay in first place in a division that's competitive, number 1, Pittsburgh. Number 2, Detroit. Number 3, Chargers. You got a problem with that?
I got a problem with Detroit. They're not a big winner. They're lucky. There was nothing big about that to me when Houston can't score a point in the second half. Quarterback throws 5 interceptions. I don't think that was a big winner. I think he were handed a victory by Houston.
They beat a division leader on the road and came back and were able to win in spite of 5
3.5 point favorites in that game.
Yeah, still a big win on the road.
I don't.
So you would put Arizona in there instead?
Yeah,
to beat 3-7 Jets or the Niners,
because I don't think you can have all the time have a biggest loser and then a biggest winner from the same game.
No,
like when you like Houston and then Detroit. So I think it was more about Houston just.
I only had one of those. Yeah, I have one of those. Yeah. Yeah, my losers were 1 Atlanta, 2 Denver, 3 Houston. Yeah. With honorable mention, Chicago and Dallas. All right. 505-246-0610. Marty, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal.
Morning, guys. My big winners are Lobel Sports. I can't remember a time. I really can't. You beat a top 25 team in hoops. And then again, UCLA could have been overranked. I don't know how good.
Maybe.
Yeah, I don't know how good they really are. We'll see, as the season plays out. It's a nice win, though. It's a win that you put in your back pocket. You say down the road, we beat a top 25 team, and we just didn't beat them. We kicked their butt, right?
It was convincing, yeah.
Yep. And this team, this Lobo basketball team, is, I think, much deeper, tougher, more physically tougher, mentally maybe. I thought last year's couple teams were a little fragile, but I think this team, it's early. It's early. Let's not take out the anointment oil. But what I see so far, the eyeball tells me that they're just a deeper team led by arguably one of the best players in the country, Double D, Donovan Dent. And then my favorite player is True because he's so versatile. He's such a versatile. I want to go as far as calling him the best shooter on the team. I do. Mm-hmm. But he's just a versatile guard. Can do a lot of things. And, of course, you got Nelly. You got some of the other cast. But nice win. And then football, that game, I forgot the kid's name. He dropped an easy touchdown, but still that made it interesting. But, Dampier to me is the MVP. I just hope he sticks around. My fear with that NIL money that he leaves, but I hope he sticks around for next year. And he's been a really, really godsend for Lobo football, I think.
Yep.
Losers, the Dallas Cowboy organization. Because, you go out and you trade for Trey Lance, and then you start Cooper Rush. This would have been a golden opportunity to prepare a trade to see what you've got. Cooper Rush, you know what you got with that guy. He's got limitations. He can't move. He's got a little bit of a noodle arm. He'll make the secure passes, but he's not going to throw in tight windows. He's not going to scramble for 10 yards. So just play Trey Lance and see what you got,
They may go there.
Cowboy organization, I'm done trying to figure them out because what you think is conventional for them is not. They just do the complete opposite. And it's all Jerry's ego because he always wants to be right and he wants to look like the expert. He wants to play coach, and he's probably calling plays. He probably told McCarthy, hey, put in Zeke, even though Dowdle was having probably the best game of his year. Put in Zeke. I want to see Zeke score a touchdown.
As
what
he
did he do? Fumble. Yeah. That's like so Jerry Jones. But, yeah, way to go, Lobos. Nice. Yeah. Let's get out there, support them, beat Washington State. And then take it a game at a time.
Yeah, man. See you. Let me take this final break. If you're there, I'd love to talk to you when we get back. 505-246-0610. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
I might not be in the cage as much anymore. Just like riding a bicycle, I can pick up the fight from where I left off. I'm not some slick-haired outsider posing with borrowed gloves. I grew up here. New Mexico is in my blood. I'm a New Mexican fighting for other New Mexicans. I'm Adam Oki. I'll be your champion in the courtroom.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com.
Got shots? Got shots? Got shots?
During Got Shots, participating providers open their doors for any child who presents for immunizations, regardless of whether they are a patient or whether they have insurance.
TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sports shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. TurboThreads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for TurboThreads.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. Our law firm was founded by my father, Thibaut J. Chavez, with one goal: to get New Mexicans the help they need. That's why we built a different kind of law firm. We focus on family values, dedicated service, and we make a real contribution by giving back to our communities. We can't change what happened to you or your loved ones, but we can help you get back on the road to recovery. We're by your side, and we're still as local as red and green.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Sweet Rolls.
Been a weekend of that, huh, for Lobo fan? Big Friday. You got a big week coming up, too. Lobo basketball tomorrow. Men at home against Corpus Christi. Ladies will be on the road. JJ's going to be in Lubbock with Texas Tech. And then on Saturday, Lobo men in Madison Square Garden against St. John's. Football against Washington State at home. It's a lot going on. Rudy, good morning. Thanks for holding here on the Sports Animal. Hello, Rudy.
Good morning. Still hanging out here in beautiful Las Vegas.
Attaboy.
Gonna head back today, yeah. And remember that song by Meatloaf, 2 out of 3 Ain't Bad?
I do, yeah.
Yeah, well, not for 3-leg parlays.
No.
Who ever thought that Air Force would kick Fresno State's butt like that?
Didn't see that coming. Yeah.
Cost me that 3-leg parlay.
Sorry, man.
I really thought Western Kentucky could cover. Bad beats, 1 point.
What was
1 point away?
What was the spread there? They won by
13, and the spread was 14. Ouch. Yeah. So,
sorry, dude.
That's why Vegas looks the way it does, because people
nice,
lose.
too.
But on the big winner department, that was an outstanding game by UNM's back. You're a little schizophrenic trying to watch that and watch Lobo football, and they both went to half at the same time. Did you know that?
No. Yeah, maybe I did know that. Yeah.
You're hoping for a stagger, right? So at least you could watch uninterrupted something. No, they both went to the break at the exact same time. So it was worth every minute of it. Went and got some nosebleed seats for Billy Joel and Sting at the Allegiant. So all in all, a fantastic weekend. And it was dicey, like I told you on the way out, but it looks like smooth sailing on the way back on the road. So we'll see you back in Albuquerque, and we'll see you Saturday at University Stadium.
You got no voice. It's beautiful. Look at him. He's been 4 days in Vegas.
No voice.
That's beautiful. All right. Safe travels, man.
Thank you.
See you. It's the way it's supposed to sound, right? After 4 days in Vegas. All right. What is everybody going to be talking about? What do you got to know as you go through your day? Lobos had a big weekend. 72-64 men's basketball over 22nd ranked UCLA. 21-16 football over San Diego State. Aggies lose at home in football 41-28 to Western Kentucky. They were winners over Dixie State in men's basketball. We can get into this, JJ. Diego Pavia is suing the NCAA. The former Volcano Vista star, New Mexico State star, is suing over NCAA eligibility rules. Basically saying that the JUCO, when you play junior college, the JUCO eligibility limitation bylaws, it says, quote, neither promote competition nor benefit college athletes with respect to their impact on persons who attend junior colleges before transferring. These rules stifle the competition in the labor market for NCAA Division I football players, harming college athletes and degrading the quality of Division I football consumed by the public. It goes on. Basically, JJ, I think, Diego's asking for 2 more years because he's making money. And I don't see how he wins. I don't see how junior college is not going to count towards your eligibility. But I also have not seen the NCAA win any lawsuits.
Yeah, this is at what point there's going to be a line, and if that line goes away, then you are just outright destroying certain things. Like, there's no way JUCO is going to be able to play the NIL game. There's no way they're going to be able to give money when they're 2-year institutions for athletics. But then you're saying, well, let's give it just back on the other side. And so we're going to be looking at that point, potentially 6-7 year careers on a consistent basis. If a dude does, or male or female, plays 2 years at your JUCO level, then transfers up.
Right?
So,
Jack says, can we talk about Diego Pavia, Jeff? College is college, 4 years, and that's it. College is not playing for 15 years. That's why we have professional leagues. This is, and the head coach at Vanderbilt said, look, man, I'm not going to get into a lawsuit. I'd love to have Diego as long as I can. The lawsuit continues. These harms are contrary to defendant's stated mission of promoting the well-being of college athletes and are the very ills federal antitrust law seeks to remedy. Pavia and other former JUCO football players who are harmed by this illegal restraint have a small window of time to compete in Division I football. See, I can't see where it says, look, man, you got your 5 years to play 4. You didn't get an opportunity, so you went to JUCO. That's college. I would be stunned if he wins this. But that will absolutely just change everything. I mean, you're going to have the kid goes to JUCO for 2 years, and then he's got 5 more years to play, so he's going to be 25, 26, 27 years old, right?
Yes.
And look, I don't blame Diego for wanting to continue this role at Vandy. I mean, whatever he's making now, he could make more next year. I promise you. I promise you the SEC money is going to be flowing in. If for some reason Diego Pavia he's played 5 years of college football, right? Two at Nemi, 2 at New Mexico State, 1 at Vandy. Just think of the records you could set if you play 7 years. Right. But I mean, whatever he's making in NIL now, I promise you he's going to be making a whole lot more if for some reason he gets granted more eligibility next year. They're going to a bowl game at Vanderbilt. That doesn't even happen.
Yeah, he's of course fighting for himself.
Sure he
but
is.
Trying to say that, the system is keeping the players down. At some point in time, there's going to be a system that...
Is it a system?
Like...
No, I know.
Because at this point, everyone is trying to have it the perfect way for themselves without acknowledging that there should be any caps, guidelines, or whatever on it.
Kind of crazy. No, it really is crazy. All right, you get Monday Night Football tonight. We'll have it here on the Sports Animal. Rams and Dolphins tonight on Monday Night Football. I don't even know what the spread is. You have an idea?
Ooh.
What do you guess?
Rams,
I got it now.
Rams 2.5.
Rams 2.5. The total's 48.5. I like the Rams tonight at home. I do. They're playing well. Tua's back, so the Dolphins' offense has been much better with Tua back in there. I could use a touchdown, 5 catches, and plus 50 yards on Puka Nacua. That would make me really happy. I mean, just for personal reasons. Is that? I mean, that's not out of the realm, right? 1 touchdown, 5 catches, and plus 50 yards.
Not out of the realm.
It's a fair line, right? Took a little hit last night on that David Montgomery touchdown. So that's what you get tonight. And tomorrow, Tony Sanchez will be with us coming up right when we open the show at 7 o'clock. Will you let Zay know how to do that, please? JJ will be in Lubbock in some Marriott property probably with us tomorrow. It's an hour later there, though.
Yes.
So you get to sleep in, theoretically. All right. Thank you, too. Bronco Mendenhall, the Lobo football coach. He was with us today, as was CJ Nolan, Lobo men's basketball guard. If you missed either one of those, there, wherever you get your podcast, or just go to our website, sportsanimallbq.com. Click on the opening drive. You'll be able to hear it. Jim Rome Show is next. The Herd with Colin Cowards after that. 2 Men On will be live at Howie's Sports Page. Go hang out with your boys today and enjoy them. Adrian, great. Oh, then you get Monday Night Football, Rams and Dolphins. Adrian, great work. Big day for you, huh?
Huge day.
All right, safe travels. Enjoy it. We'll talk to you tomorrow from Lubbock. All right, be good to each other, please. We're back tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. with award-winning radio then. Be kind, loving, caring, and sharing. We'll smell you tomorrow.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. For over 4 decades, our law firm has remained steadfast in our commitment to serving the remarkable people of New Mexico that have been injured through no fault of their own. I'm a New Mexican fighting for New Mexicans. I received my bachelor's degree at NMSU and earned my law degree at UNM. I can proudly say I'm both an Aggie and a Lobo. Call now and I will meet with you. 40 years strong, and we're still as local as red and green.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.